As Paul said, forgetting the things that are behind. That was when you were at your lowest understanding. There's not much to glean from there. And we reach forward, referring to what we can do to affect the future by doing something now. It's all about now. The future will come soon enough. What you are doing about it now is the question. This is not about the past. You can't live tomorrow, today, or yesterday. It's all about today. The one day you do have an effect on everything, then it will affect your past and your future. Reaching forward to the things ahead. So talking all about the present, not just dreaming and living in the future. Walking in it. Without doing something today, your chances of affecting your future are zero. There is a future in your present. If you will just move on things today, now, your next breath, not promised to you, forget about tomorrow, do while you can do something, because there is a time coming when you perhaps will be able to do nothing. There is an end. There is a last call. There is a time when the lights go out in this world, and you will stop. You will step into a whole new world. That path you created in this life will now be exposed. All the goodbyes you wanted to say will be gone. Only what you did will matter then, not what you thought you were going to do. The disciples lived urgent lives. They weren't leaving anything to chance. They knew Jesus could come at any moment. Do you think that we might be a little closer today? And if so, what are you doing about it? Whatever investment in what you do today will carry rewards we cannot even conceive, and God is a very good accountant to add them all up and multiply your rewards and your crowns. Thoughts are one thing. Actions are completely another. Actions have consequences. Thoughts have little of anything. If you do things with the right heart, that is the only thing God looks at. Not what you did, but what was in your heart when you did it. What was the essence of everything of your seeking? What drivers in your life did you live by? Who was it all about? You, others, God? If in your heart you desire to speak for God, to be articulate of God, He will fill your mouth. I believe God has given every man enough time in this life to choose Him. He may choose to know in advance to see what choices you make, but He lets you decide. Just because He looked ahead and saw what you're going to do doesn't mean He made you do it. He didn't. But He lets you decide and no one else what to choose. Time has taken some people to God, and time has taken some people away from God. But it was always your free will. It wasn't time's fault. Your choices. Choose this day who you will serve. The quality of life you live is your decision. The length is His. Unless you decide to end yours early, which is always a choice. The good news is, with the right leadership, anything is possible. The bad news is, with the wrong leadership, almost anything is possible if it was not for God. Where did King Solomon go wrong? When he went from God reliant the self-reliant, relying on his own money and his own fame and his own power. So it shows it doesn't matter how smart you are. Smarts in itself does not lead to the promised land, but who you follow leads you there. Your own wisdom. And it is said he was the smartest, most educated, richest man ever to see earth, but he still had a choice and he made the wrong one. He went from God-reliant to self-reliant. It was just a matter of time for his complete undoing of all the good he did. We have freedom of action, but we cannot escape consequences of that. A leader, a man can only please one master. Self, people, or God. There is no fence sitting or flip-flopping with these decisions. Well, who's it going to be? To take a man like King Solomon from mountaintops to utter failure in the end. It's amazing. No matter what you did, Paul, who wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, was a murderer and murdered Christians and families. Yet he changed his heart and came to God. You wouldn't have forgiven him, but God did. It's not the political party you belong to or the church you belong to. It's the heart of the leader that matters most. Some men are, I'm not sure what that says. Will do anything for their leader. Be careful who you follow. And know this, that how a leader starts out does not necessarily how he will end. And if you're following a good man and he turns and he falls, even Paul said, if I turn and fall, stop following me. If a good leader changes to the wrong direction, run. Get away as fast as you can, or you will end up following him into his destruction. If you followed King Solomon, it started out good, worshiping God, and ended up worshiping false gods, because power can often corrupt a man, and this is why he had not given it to many. He has not given that power to many, because he knows many of us would fail him. But be happy with what he does give you, because that's what he says, to be satisfied, to be thankful, saying, God, thank you. I have a bed, I have food, I have family, I have friends. God, I thank you for what I do have. Multiply it, Lord God Almighty.